Hey there, strangers. It's time for another 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange Jim. And today we are going to be getting into my series, Finish What I Started. Now, today we're going to be moving on to something different. We finished um, my last project of the uh, Twitch stream team, which if anyone wants to check that out, there's a link down below for that. Um, you know, submit an application. I'll go ahead and review it. But don't have enough people right at this moment in time to really make it take off. But if you want to join, it's available. Um, so the purpose of today is to make sure that we get uh, well, we're going to be moving on to another project. Okay. I have quite a few projects on my list of things that I want to do, but uh, I just keep on getting sidetracked during my regular hours. So I um, I do this series to kind of focus myself to get the things that I want to get done. For those of you that are curious of what the whole Finish What I Started series is all about. Um, the um, Today, um, I'm I'm thinking about going back and continuing work on the website that I initially started up. Now, a little bit of um, um, a little bit of history concerning it. Um, one of the one of the things that I tend to lack, okay, is code on GitHub or anything along those lines. Okay, I have a hard time trying to get work done at home. Okay, um, but the um, so nowadays a lot of companies are asking for a GitHub account, and I don't have much there um, in terms of code that I can kind of show because a lot of it's either school projects that I don't have anymore, or there are work projects which I can't really show. I can't publicly show any of the code because it's part of the company. So, um, the most that I can say is, well, go to, um, you can see some of the work that I did for this one game. It's out there for the public, but you can't see the code. That's the problem. Um, or you can check out this website that I built for this other company. Not that I really remember the website, to be honest, but by this point all of the work that's been done there has probably changed. So I mean, what's the point, you know? So besides this, the work that I did for that one website was on Cold Fusion, the dying, well, a dying or dead language. Um, unless the company decides to revamp revamp itself and put resources back into that language, kind of doubt, which I kind of doubt. Um, there, it's gonna continue dying. So, um, Cold Fusion, you know, it had a great amount of support before it was bought out. A lot of people loved it, but it's no longer around, or at least it's fading from fading from the limelight. Um, so I was seeing some Twitter posts, um, from a couple of individuals, um, basically saying, uh, here, you know, this person needs some help. Can you donate so much money to them? Here's another person that could use some help. Can you donate to them? Um, then there's others that are like on YouTube that are basically saying, we're giving away free stuff to people that need it. And you can tell that, well, you know, there's there's quite a few people, um, especially after this pandemic. And I thought that I could take it upon myself to kind of try to work on a site that might be able to help out in some fashion, but expand on it. Um, see, you know, some people might want money, some people might want food. Hell, some people might even need a roof for their heads. Okay, but there are other things that people need. Okay, um, employment. Um, they may need they may need viewership. I mean, um, there's a lot of things that um, everybody over the entire world needs help. Okay, in some fashion or another. Okay, um, so um, I wanted to build a website that could um, that's kind of designed around and the idea of you know giving people a way to um, put down that they're in need of help. Here's how you can help them, and um, and I'm building it in such a way where um, there's multiple different ways, that they may ask for help. Okay, one way or another. Um, so, and I plan on trying to split it off into two main sections. One where people need the help, and another section for people that can't help. Okay, or may be willing to um, you know uh, that may be financially able to help out. Okay. Um, so that's the main concept of it. Um, so problem is that I haven't been able to get very far on it. Um, I started running into some roadblocks and some uh, problems and just things got to a point where I just tabled it and never went back to it. And today I want to try to get back. I want to try to get back to that site and try to rebuild it, or well, not rebuild it, but build it into what I want to see it be. Now, right now, um, it's not. Um, right now, it's far from perfect. Okay, let's face it. I'm just a single person. I don't have a team of graphic designers or multiple different programmers programming out each and every single page. I don't have that. I don't have a database administrator. Okay. So a lot of this is going to be um, a lot of trial and error. So hopefully, if you like that, then you'll kind of stick around and join me for that trial and error. So um, um, hold on a second. So um, series on YouTube. Um, I don't have a lot of videos. I'm talking to a friend of mine. I contacted him because I know that he uh, I know that he did a lot of work, or he's done some work on websites, and I wanted to kind of um, check with him a little bit. Maybe he could kind of follow along and basically say, hey, no, you want to try to do it this way, and let's set it that way. Um, now I'm gonna be slightly, it's gonna be slightly different than what he had, obviously, because sounds like he used Ruby on Rails, but I'm not using Ruby on Rails, so uh, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Hey there, Tornado. How you doing there, bud? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the stream. Okay, so I need to get some music going here, otherwise my headset will um, knock out, uh, close down on me. Hold on a second while I get that going. Um, Doing good when we play World of Warships. I play World of Warships every Wednesday, dude. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Everything is going okay. Let's see. Let me bring up that. Let's see, what else? What else do I need today? Okay. Um, okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and bring up some notepads here. Hmm. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this off here. So, um, so I don't know if you guys can kind of see that. Let me kind of try to zoom in if I can. Um, okay. Um, so, uh, here's here's what I call my finish what I started series. So, I've already taken care of the Twitch team, so that's all done and taken care of. So we don't really need to see that anymore. Um, so, um, there's quite a things on this list of things that I want to try to do at some point in time, or finish, or whatnot. Um, the next big thing that I want to do is I want to continue my philanthropy site, Horinsote. Um, or at least I think that's how you pronounce it. So, um, now, like I said, if you go to it right now, you're not gonna find much. Um, if it's even up and running, I think it is. Um, let me see. I'll go ahead and bring up the web page here, and let's see where it's at. I left it um, I left it alone for a long time ago, so right. Okay. Um, so this is the basics for it right at the moment that I've kind of built so far, but obviously there's a lot more for me to kind of do on this. Um, Eventually I want to try to get it to a point where, um, you know, you have, you know, strangers helping strangers, family helping family. At least that's how um, I view it. So I think I updated this a little bit. Um, yeah. So uh, for for kind of any background on this. So um, when was first making this, um, I was having a little bit of difficulty trying to come up with a name for the website. Everybody was, every place that I looked at was basically saying you need a .com. It's like, okay, um, you need to have this .com, to make any kind of headway anywhere. So I'm like, okay. So I started looking at, different combinations and names to kind of um, to have it similar to what the whole, strangers helping strangers is all about. Okay, trying to come up with different names and so on and so forth. Every single last site name that I was thinking of was taken. So I'm like, okay, uh, what am I gonna do? So I started looking for other, um, other terms, other like single words that kind of represent what I'm trying to go for to see about trying to get, um, some amount of uh, insight as to where I want to kind of take this site. And then I remembered, um, you know, back in elementary school, I remembered studying about the Iroquois. And now, um, for those of you that might not know about the Iroquois, um, they were an Indian tribe in basically um, well, I say tribe, but um, they were a nation of different Indian tribes. Um, they're basically kind of combined together into one, you know, basically their own nation. Um, and they were pretty much located in the um, northeast of the United States, southern Canada, um, or southeast Canada. Um, their territory was pretty vast overall. Um, and I remembered that they used to have these buildings where they would have like their entire family in a single building. You know, what they call a long, what we call a longhouse. Um, it would basically be used to house, you know, basically 20 families or so. Okay, because it was quite a a long building for the most part. Okay, or they would hold tribal meetings there or whatnot. Now, um, I was looking at long houses. I'm like going, I don't know. It just doesn't stand out. Um, what is the Iroquois word for longhouse? Horinsote. Now, uh, now some of you might be going, well, Jim, what are you doing here? You're, uh, the, um, using an Indian name. Well, the point is that, it's meant to represent, the gathering of families, tribal meetings, philanthropy. Okay, or at least that's how I view it. Okay, I tried contacting the um the uh, certain Indian organizations, American Indian organizations, to see if they would get my blessing. I could get their blessing on this, but I didn't hear back from them at all concerning this. So, um, but I'm hopeful that if this does take off, that they would see the good work that I'm doing in their name, and they would continue to bless um, the endeavor of it. Um, at least I hope. I mean, if they want me to try to change the name, I'll try to change the name. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about trying to get everything taken care of if they have a problem with it. Um, I'll try to work with them on getting matters resolved. I mean, right now I'm not making any kind of cash on this or anything along those lines, so it's not much I can really do about it anyway. Um, I mean, hell, if they came after me with lawyers, I'd be like, all right, well, time to shut it down. um, but it's still a word, so I'm hoping that they see what I'm trying to aim for, and um, they understand and will be looking to help or support in their own regard. I mean, the idea for it is going to be helping out everybody, you know, including every single race, every single nation, everybody. Okay, so um, that's the whole idea of it. Uh, so um, it's basic right at the moment in time. I mean, I don't even have um, pages up for anywhere else. Um, I think the only thing that I really have is the home page and the about page, and that's it. I think that's about all that I put into it right at the moment. Um, so eventually I want to get it to a point where um, it can be a not-for-profit company. You know, um, so um, at least that's the idea behind it. So um, these Mondays are going to be used to continue working on this. Hopefully, I don't have that many issues for it. And anyone that is willing to kind of help out, um, whether it's like maybe providing some code insights, some database insights, some artistic insights. I kind of uh, I kind of welcome whatever you might be willing to provide. So, um, but obviously, I can't necessarily pay anyone right at the moment. Um, so now here's here's the basic homepage. Um, that's what you know, this is my finish where I started, you know, ideas of things to come. And here is what, um, here was my ideas. I typed it all out to see, um, what, um, what I would be kind of willing to, um, what, uh, I would like to kind of see in terms of, you know, um, person that is willing to help out individuals and person that needs help. Okay. Now, obviously, um, so let me kind of break it down here a little bit as you can. Well, here let me zoom in on this a little bit as well, so you guys can kind of read it. Okay, so the what I call the givers and the receivers in this particular case. Okay, so the giver are allowed to are going to be able to search for details, search for people that need help. Okay, um, maybe they um, maybe they're just someone that wants to um, follow YouTubers, follow streamers, or something along those lines. So, maybe you know Mixer's gone, so that doesn't really matter anymore. Um, but um, maybe they just want to follow someone on Twitch. Okay. Maybe someone's asking for sponsorship. Okay. Maybe someone's saying, hey, you want to sponsor me? You know, I wouldn't mind a sponsorship. Um, maybe they're trying to look for employment. Now, obviously, a lot of this information needs to be hidden from just, uh, uh, I'm not going to put this information out there for everybody to read, okay? Because, I don't want people, putting down their email that's available for anyone to see and spam the hell out of, okay? There's a lot of unscrupulous people out there. I don't want this information to be readily available um, for people uh, to cause problems with. Okay. Um, so that's the reason why I'm saying most details are hidden until they actually pay the subscription. Okay. Um, now, if they pay the subscription, then they'll have access to all these details, and how some unscrupulous people might see that as an opportunity. Um, and there's always going to be some amount of risk. I mean, um, I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to try to keep things, um, you know, um, keep the people that are the receivers protected. Okay, it's one of the reasons why asking for their, I'm not asking for their address, their city, their zip code or anything along those lines for the receivers. Okay. Um, I'm not asking for their phone numbers or anything along those lines. Um, so because I don't want them having problems. Okay, from people. Okay, I don't want them. Um, I don't want them getting spam. Okay, unfortunately, they're gonna have to provide an email. Um, Otherwise, they're just gonna have, um, you know, because I need to kind of confirm that they are indeed um, who they say they are, and I'm gonna need to have an email address so that if they need to change their password, for example, I need to email them, hey, here's a code to change your password, or so on and so forth. Okay, so so email is needed. Um, but um, um, a lot of these are things that um, shouldn't be um, that difficult, or shouldn't be something that will cause a problem for the receiver. Okay. Um, at least it shouldn't, but again, I don't know. And the whole purpose of this is to basically have a site where anyone can kind of go to, and um, it's basically going to be like a database of people that need help. Okay, that's the whole idea of it. It's a place where people can kind of gather, you know, um, and if they need a helping hand, then they have someone that can try to help them out. So um, that's the whole idea of it. Okay. Um, and most of the time, it's going to be like links to other websites. Okay. It's going to be basically, um, you know, hey, this receiver just has a GoFundMe. You know, they're in trouble. They just have this GoFundMe. That's it. That's all they have. Okay. Some people might have a lot of things that they need help with. Okay. You know, maybe they're a Twitch streamer and maybe, you know, they're looking for sponsorship. Okay. Um, but at the same time, you know, they might have an outstanding credit card bill that is causing them problems or something like that, or they have a hospital bill. You know, um, people need help nowadays. Okay. Some people just might want to say, hey, there's a nonprofit that could use some extra money. Okay. Um, so there's that, you know. So not all of it is just going to be for um, for like personal help. Okay. You know, a lot of it could be um, someone might post, you know, information about a friend of theirs, you know, that they feel could use some extra help, you know. Um, now, um, some of these I'm probably going to be um, leaving it to like the receiver to kind of say, okay, you know, I'm okay with this particular person having it. Um, you know, such as employment, you know, um, email and CSV is not something that um, a receiver should, you know, send out to just anyone. Okay, if a giver wants, you know, information about their employment, like they see the fact that, you know, they have the profession is something that, you know, they might be, um, you know, like if their profession is something that and a giver is in need of, then they could, I could set it up so that they can contact the receiver and say, hey, I'm part of this company. Um, you know, could I check out your resume? And then I give the receiver that decision, okay, to okay that, um, you know, to kind of say this giver is okay to see my resume or something along those lines. Okay, I need to put protections in place to make sure that this all kind of goes through, that everybody is um, uh, everybody's kind of protected. Now, um, you know, home loans, car loans, hospital bills, you know, a lot of this is, it's like, you know, what could the what could a person get from seeing the account number for the car loan bill or something along those lines? You know, that's why that's why I don't really see um, an issue with these kind of ideas, because, you know, you go to like any kind of credit card bill site or something along those lines, and sometimes they have um, ways of donating into, paying off an outstanding bill for someone else. Okay, there's, some sites have that. Okay, some sites might not, but um, but the whole idea is to give the um, give the receiver a way to ask for help and kind of take care of that. So, okay, I want to make sure that I'm not going to show anything concerning, or I don't want to show any um, information that might be problem that might like show passwords or anything along those lines. So I want to make sure that everything's good here. Okay. Yeah, that could potentially be a problem there. Um, Now, when I first built this site, um, I was seeing um, the site basically saying, "Hey, we'll give you some professionals to help you out with the site free of charge." I'm like going, "Hey, great! I could use some help on this. I could use someone that could kind of help me out on um, building the site up." And well, yeah, that was pretty much a lie. Um, they basically put my name into a website for other um, website developers and saying, you know, this person needs help. And so I kept on getting messages after messages after messages of people, making websites for a charge. And I'm like, I don't have any money. you know, this was kind of meant as a way to kind of build something um, that could eventually, you know, build off of itself. Okay, so it's its own little startup company. Okay, so so it'd be really tough for me to justify trying to pay someone else to kind of build something when I don't really have a whole lot of money myself to do that. So um, hence the reason why I had this general message at on my very homepage here. Uh, just a general message to companies that are viewing said page. I'm unable to pay anyone for assistance on making this page, at least not yet. If you want to arrange something for afterwards, I'm willing to listen, but for now, I can't pay anyone. And unfortunately, a lot of people were saying, pay us up front. So I was like, oh, nothing I can do, you know. So, um, you know, willing to pay for services after the fact, but right now, nothing I can do. And unfortunately, that's all the offers that I was getting was pay us up front, we'll help out. I'm like, I can't pay you up front. Well, we can't help you. It's like, okay, then I'm just gonna go ahead and back on out then because there's, um, I can't, I can't, um, there's nothing that I can kind of do with that. So, okay, 1 second. I did notice that there's a problem. So, okay. Um, let's see. Gonna have to kind of make a note of that. So I can modify the YouTube. So video. Remove. Vertical information and there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this back to live here. Okay, so what we're looking at is the you know, um, this is the potential for what the website is going to be all about. Um, there is I'm going to have pages for the giver and the receiver. I have the about. Um, so um, let's see. I'm doing a quick page for um, signing in as a giver. Um, now, um, the each one of these kind of pages is kind of meant to um, show um, you know, it will kind of first they'll need, you know, when they click on the pages here, they're going to need to go into a login screen that will automatically go into the database um, to verify their credentials. Okay. Um, let's see. Why? Not quite sure why I created the membership link there. What was my thought lines for that? Not sure. Um, so so here's the idea of it. Um, so the givers, they'll sign up for a membership, um, and you know we'll have you know subscriptions available to them. Um, and you know I want to you know I don't want to uh, you know I want to make it fairly cheap for anyone that is a giver. Okay, I don't want to overload them by paying a subscription fee. Okay, um, here's the reason why I have discounts for a quarter for an annual. Okay, I don't want to overload them. You know, if they want to pay, however, you know, then they choose. Okay, what they want to kind of go for. Okay. Um, and then of course they put in all their details and so on and so forth. Okay. Um, that way, well, it will probably be needing information concerning, um, it'll probably be needing, um, for like tax information or something like that, something to kind of verify for the taxes. I don't know. Okay, that's my problem is that I don't know. Um, I want to make this into a not-for-profit company. Okay, um, but I've never done it before, so um, I'm gonna be uh, before I open this up for um, people to actually make any kind of payments into. I'll need to make sure that I'm covered all of my bases when it comes to that. Okay. Um, so that's gonna be that's gonna be a little bit of a scary prospect there. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, but for now, we can work on getting the website up and running at the very least. So, um, then in the receivers, um, they'll have their own login. They'll have their own sign up for it. Um, and I'm just going to be basically saying, hey, what's your name and email? What's or give me um, some information that um, you know um, so that I know that you're a real human being. Um, there's going to be some things that it's like, well, you know, um, that you might be scratching your head and going, Jim, why do you have those? Well, okay. Um, nationality, um, they may be in another country altogether. Okay. Like for example, India, you know, um, you know, is going through some hard times right now. Okay, with COVID. Um, so not that the United States is faring that much better, but I mean, India's going through some hard times. Okay, um, so if someone from say India needs some help, then well, they can put down that you know they're from the nation of India, or they're from the United Kingdom, or they're from America, or they're from Brazil, or wherever. Okay, um, someone from you know a giver might be someone that might have came from that particular nation or something along those lines. So I think my music just went offline. Hold on. Let me start it back up again. Yep. All right. There we go. So, um, the, um, so, someone might want to like give back for someone else that has a, particular nation or something along those lines. Okay, so there is that. Okay. Um, so if like a giver is from a particular nation and they want to try to search for other people that are in that nation, then um, then that's always a possibility. Okay. Um, if for some reason one person wants to help out another person that is of a particular religious faith, then I give that option for them as well. Okay. They don't need to if they don't want to. It's not going to be a requirement, but um, the search features here, you know, the giver can basically say, hey, I just want to look for people that are, of the Christian faith or the Jewish faith or something along those lines. You know, um, I'm giving them that option if they want to do it that way. Okay. Uh, again, I'm not making it a requirement. Okay. Um, because when you are someone that can help out another person, religion shouldn't be a factor. If you're trying to help out another person, religion shouldn't be a factor. Okay. Um, so um, I'm using this for anyone that wants it, but personally I don't. Personally, my own personal viewpoint, it shouldn't be needed. But again, um, some people might want it. Okay, and that's on them. Okay. Um, now I'm putting down sites that I thought of, um, concerning, um, what, you know, some people might need help with, or some things that people might be in need of, or might need help with, or, just general, charities, nonprofits, so on and so forth. Um, and if something is doesn't fit in any of these particular categories, then I can always have something that um, someone can kind of put down information concerning it, and um, you know, like if there's a website out there that um, people can use for, um, that's similar to like the Vimo, Cash App, or PayPal's, for example. Maybe there's another one that someone uses, then they can kind of put it there. Okay. Um, so the receiver will log in, or sign up. They will, fill out the necessary, put in the not so necessary, and then they will, go to, um, one of um, these possibilities, and put down information. Now, um, here's the thing. For each receiver, um, they have the potential of putting in multiple different like GoFundMe's, They have the potential of putting in um, more than one car loan, more than one hospital bill. You know, there could be more than one. More than one credit card bills, more than one charities. But um, but I don't see a need for them to make more than one employment. I don't see them making more than one um, PayPal accounts. Um, you know, what they want in sponsorship. Um, uh, they will have, like one YouTube page, or they could have multiple, you know. But the thing is that you'll want to have them, I'm having them only do one so that they will link to their main page, or what they consider as their main page. Same with the Twitch. Okay. Um, but here's the thing, you know, like GoFundMe's could be, um, there could be different problems that a person might be dealing with. For example, um, like, um, like say a disaster strikes a person, okay, and um, not only did their property get damaged, but they got hurt at the same time. They could potentially be making a GoFundMe for helping them out fixing their property and one for their medical bills or something along those lines. Okay, they may have multiple GoFundMe's out there. Okay, so um, so that's the reason why I'm allowing for that to happen. Okay, I'm seeing this as something that should happen. Okay, um, if you're paying off two home loans, this is not the site for you. I'm sorry. Uh, that to me sounds to me like you need to sell off one home and focus on another. So that's the reason why I'm only saying one. Okay. This is not a site for people that are, you know, having $1 million incomes to come in and say, hey, you know, I got a home loan that, I have a I'm paying for a house that is $1 million. Wait, what? No. you know, um, sell your home, buy a cheaper house. If you're trying to pay off a $1 million home loan, ugh, God, that would be not that I'm saying that those are out there. I, that would be almost ridiculous if that was the case. I don't know. I'm not a millionaire. How am I supposed to know? But um, the like car loans. If you're driving around in a Lamborghini or something along those lines, yeah, probably not the best website for you. I mean, if they still want to put themselves down as a receiver for that, then okay, but they're probably going to get dragged through the mud for something like that. You know, um, basically this is a meant site for those that are really in need. Okay, so um, people that are are really kind of struggling. Okay, so people that are making six figures and putting themselves in the receiver end, yeah, probably not the best look for you. Well, I mean, they still might need they still might need a hand. Okay, they still might have a home loan that they're trying to pay off. Maybe they have like 6 kids or something like that, or something like all their money that they're paying or that they're getting is going to their children, and you know they're not making a dent in their home loan or something like that. I mean that's a possibility as well. Okay, but let's face it, a person that is has 6 kids and doing pretty well for themselves overall is doing a lot better than someone that just kind of lost their job and has no way to pay their home loan. So, um, but I mean, both could need some help. So that's kind of the reason why for this website. Okay, I don't necessarily want to judge too much about who needs the help. Okay, I'll let society make those decisions. Okay. But I mean, if you're coming in and saying I have a Lamborghini that I need to pay my car loan on, probably not going to get too much sympathy. Unless you have other people that are super rich and pays it off for them or something like that. Who knows? Um, but um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Um, so that's the idea for this. So um, think that is about as much as I can really talk about concerning the website. So, um, let me switch it to webcam and let me kind of take a look as to um, uh, methods to kind of log into the site right at the moment. So let's see. Let's see. Hmm. Nope, I'm not seeing it there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. Okay. No, no, no. There we go. Okay. Uh, hmm. Let's see. I want to check to see. It's been a long time since I've logged in, so I can't really remember the username and password right at the moment. So I'm like, let's see. Let's see. Do I have this? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't the right one. Okay. Hmm. Okay. There. Um, hmm. Okay. I seem to be kind of locked out right at the moment. Um, Um, Black because login attempt before you have attempted to log in with invalid user. Attempts to log in and allowed, but that's not. I only tried to log in once. Um, hmm. I guess I set it up so that if I mess up once, then it, um, um, I'll be kind of blocked completely. Um, let's see. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Looks like it's fine. Okay, well, doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to log in right at the moment. Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't know what I can do if I'm kind of blocked out right at the moment. Um, I'm probably gonna need to do some work behind the scenes to try to get this resolved a little bit to try to get the um, get back access into the website here. And I just checked it, and yes, it's still in my name. So for those of you that might be wondering if that's the case, then no, it's still there. So, um, but I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to get into the WordPress right at the moment to gain access. So, just I think I just used the wrong password, which is kind of unfortunate because um, it's my own page and I forgot the password for it. Um, I had some randomly generated passwords just to um, try to help myself in terms of protecting. But um, what am I gonna do? If I'm blocked out, then hmm. Let's see. Um, Please try again in a few minutes. Oh, okay. Not much I can really do about that right in the moment. So, um, so let me kind of let me switch this to live and kind of show you what um, the plans for it. Um, so membership will go directly into the giver login. Okay. So or we'll go to the subscription page for membership and so on and so forth. Um, Obviously I don't think anything's there right at this moment in time, so um, at least I don't think it should. We're having some. It's taking a while to go. Right. Okay. Um. So. Um. The membership will give like a subscription. Showing. You know. All the. Um. All the different subscription that they can kind of do. Um. Um. Now. Uh. The idea for like the one-time use is going to be like for the day. Okay. Um, Meaning that we want them if they're coming online to try to see who are the potential receivers. Um, we want to make sure that um, they pay for the chance to kind of see those individuals. Okay. I don't want um, I don't want them um, gaining access to, all the receivers online kind of thing and totally be done with it. Okay. Um, you know, if they're paying for that contact information, then they're going to pay. Okay. I personally I'd prefer people, you know, who would be kind of willing to help people out for, a longer period of time. So, or if they have like another paycheck or something like that, they can kind of help out again, another time, then um, then their subscriptions will allow for them to kind of log back into the site and look through the receivers again to help them out. Okay. Um, just doing it one time, they're going to be basically paying more than um, you know they're basically paying more than 2 months just to kind of have access to a person's accounts and so on and so forth. Okay. Um, I'm making it so uh, it's not very cost effective for them to do a one-time fee. Okay. So that's what the membership is going to be all about. It's going to basically be showing the subscriptions. Okay. Um, then they fill in all the information that they have concerning the giver and the receiver, and then um, they come up here, and if they're a receiver, they click on it. They go to the page um, for the receiver. It'll be a login screen. They log in, and then it will take them to the page where they can update or change any of their details here. Maybe they want to change their notes in some fashion or another. Maybe they want to get rid of like a GoFundMe or something like that because it's already done. They don't need it anymore. You know, who's to say, right? Um, so, um, or maybe they've been employed, so they they shut it down. They say, this is no longer a need. Basically, I'll have it like a check mark saying, you know, the this um, particular item um, is needed. This particular item is not. So they can just kind of um, show and not show details that they want to show. Okay. Um, they have every right to completely delete that information too if they want to. Um, but um, if it's something that um, they just kind of want to like say say they got a sponsorship, so maybe they don't want another one, or maybe they're like one sponsorship is good, we can close down for any others right now. I just want to deal just with one sponsorship. Okay, then um, then that should be uh, that should be something that they can basically say, okay, um, don't make it active anymore. Okay, so um, so there's that. Okay, then um, you have potential for deletion and so on and so forth. Okay, and givers, the giver page, they're going to be logging in as well. Okay, and uh, what they are going to see is basically saying, ways to kind of edit their profile, or like button to kind of click on their profile so they can modify their details if they need to. Um, and a lot of this is going to be information that, um, well, I got to be careful with this because um, if I'm going to be verifying like tax information, um, then I'm probably going to be needing a lot of this information. Um, maybe. Again, I don't know. If I just have them put down you know, name and email, and they don't have any additional information, um, then um, how are we gonna like confirm that these are indeed people that are donating? But at the same time, um, I think the way I've figured it is that I gotta be careful with um, taking like um, one of the reasons why I want to try to have have the like the web links and like is that I don't want to necessarily take um, financial responsibility of like collecting donations and going to like the GoFundMe account. Okay. Um, I don't necessarily want to be the middleman along those lines. Okay. If they want to donate for like a GoFundMe, they can kind of go to the GoFundMe link and pay there. Okay. Um, I don't want them, you know, um, you know, the, a lot of these sites have their own, like tax backgrounds or something along those lines. They keep their own kind of tax records. I don't necessarily want to kind of deal with that per se on this. Um, I don't know whether or not um, if a subscription to, um, well, okay. Um, the way I know of things, a donation is like a uh, tax write-off. Um, I don't know whether or not paying a subscription into a nonprofit is also tax write-off. Probably. So that's why I kind of need to be a little careful when it comes to that. Um, and I don't know whether or not it's my job to kind of provide those tax forms, or um, if it's just something that the individual, paying the subscription fee would have to handle themselves. Okay, I don't know. I don't know where that line is. Um, but um, we'll see. We'll see where we need to kind of go with that. Um, so um, you know, the giver page will just kind of show um, their subscription information, maybe how much time they have left. Um, they'll have their own personal details that they can kind of edit if they need to, and then of course they have the search features, which um, they can they can kind of do a search for pretty much all this here for the most part. Okay, everything that I've highlighted. Okay. Obviously, they're not going to be able to search for name and email for a receiver. Not going to have that happen. Um, not going to show this information to. to a giver. Okay, that's privileged information. Not going to do it. Um, but um, maybe they want to donate to like a charity that it's located in a particular state or something like that. Like there might be um, like a ranch saves that saves horses or something along those lines, and it's based out of California or something like that. Okay, they might search throughout the state for a particular charity or nonprofit to um, that they want to try to donate to. Okay, so we want to give them the opportunity um, to find those specific details. So um, otherwise, um, the search isn't going to be very good. Um, now, what I'm going to need to do is figure out how to set up the database for all this. Um, then figure out ways of trying to make sure that it's um, properly set up so I can try to fight against hackers. But let's face it, you know, um, I'm gonna have some trouble all along those lines. But um, so um, I'm gonna need to figure out how to kind of do set up the database for both the giver and the receivers. Um, and actually, I think I still have a database program. I don't know how much I can kind of use it with WordPress, but um, we can see, maybe I can create something similar to it. Um, maybe I can kind of create the tables and the like, and set it up um, so that I can kind of transfer the code into WordSpace to kind of set it up there. Um, so that's a potential here. Um, here, hold on, let me see if I still have the program. Switching over to webcam real quick. One of the problems with having a single monitor. Um, let's see. And don't worry, I have one. Um, I have one on its way. So, um, did I uninstall it? I might have. Hmm. Just trying to see um, where it might be again. Hmm. Let's see. Did I move it? Hold on, let me look this up here real quick there, folks. Give me a moment. I might have uninstalled it. Um, no, okay, it's looking like I still have it installed. Okay, so obviously the database that I'm connected to is no longer there, so that doesn't really matter anymore. Kind of doubt that I'm gonna have any kind of connection database-wise here. Okay, that's interesting. Hmm. Would have figured that I wouldn't necessarily have access to this anymore. Or at least would figure that, you know, any kind of connection would be, you know, removed. But I guess I'm still able to see some information on this. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, so I can still see a lot of the SQL projects that I kind of worked on. So that's good. But at the same time, um, I think I'll go ahead and, oh, I don't necessarily want to lose the resources for this either. Um, let's see. Don't want to do any kind of database connection right at the moment. Um, let's see. Um, here. I think we're good enough. We can kind of open this back up again. Okay, so I'm gonna create like two SQL files here, and kind of use it as an initial basis for what we're gonna be kind of looking for the most part, concerning this information. So, um, but I'm so bad at developing SQL. I don't have it locked away in my brain right at the moment. I'm not the best in it yet. Um, so we're just gonna go ahead and open up um, maybe some old um, we'll open up an old database and we'll try going from there. Okay, hold on. My music just kind of gave out on me. 1 second while I start that back up again. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so um, obviously these are all a lot of queries and the like. Um, so what I want to do is, yeah, hmm, want to be able to allow for, or create databases. Okay, so this isn't what I want. Okay. So SQL um, table version. Okay, so hmm, right. So um, we can kind of close that down. So you want to create table. Um, your user. Okay. Now, um, we want to have a um, user ID. Then we will have username. just gonna kind of put these in for now. User email, user phone, address, city, state, users, okay. I don't think I need a comma for the last one, if I remember correctly. I do not, okay. Okay, so kind of need to kind of iron out the, um, the best um, data types for each one of these. Int works for the key, um, but you know, do I really want to use a varchar of 255 for just for a last name? No. I'm sorry. I don't think a particular person's last name is 255 characters long. So, um, so let's see. Um, Name, data type. Okay, so we want to do first name, user, last name. Let's see. Um, well, that doesn't really work. um, uh, Best data type for to store phone number. There we go. Let's see. Strings and varchar. Do not try storing phone numbers as actual numbers. It will ruin the formatting. Remove preceding zeros and other undesirable things. You may, if you choose to, restrict user inputs to just numeric number and numeric values, but even in that case, keep your backing persistent data as character strings and not numbers. Be aware of the wider world and how the number lengths and formatting differ before you try to implement any sort of length restrictions, variations, or mass. Um, Non-numeric characters can be valid in phone numbers. Okay. Um, for example, plus as a replacement for 00 at the start of international numbers. Good to know. Okay. It's one of the bigger UI mistakes that phone numbers have anything to do with numerics. Is much better to think of and treat them like addresses. It's closer to what they actually are and represent than phone numbers. Um, hmm. Consider using the E164 format. Phone numbers are limited to a maximum of 15 digits. National call prefix. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. What's this all about? Um, hmm. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I was saying varchar of at least 15. Hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking I should probably do like a 20 just in case. So I'm just I'm just kind of doing a regular and a basic sequel for now there, Trev. So um you know I'm I know that I'm going to be needing a database for this website. Um and seeing that it is a part of the WordPress. I don't know exactly what WordPress uses in terms of the types um, of databases, and I can't currently log in right at the moment to see, um, but I figured I'll just go ahead and MySQL for WordPress. Gotcha. Um, I figured I'll just fill out basic information for now, just to have a rough idea as to what I want to see eventually in the database, but I'm by no means any kind of database administrator, so I need to kind of be careful um, so that I don't make any kind of mistakes. That uh, that I build it in such a fashion where I don't have anyone unscrupulous coming along and causing some problems, messing up the database, getting information that shouldn't be there, so on and so forth. Um, no, I wasn't. I was just using it as a means to just um, build up a um, build up the general sequel for now. Um, you know, uh, seeing that I'm not uh, my understanding of SQL is very limited right at the moment, so um, just yeah, just a decent dev environment for testing. I had it available, so I figured I'd go ahead and bring it up just so I can start like typing all this stuff out. Um, so that's all. Okay, so recommendation is varchar of 20 for the phone number. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, let's see. To this data type for email. There we go. Vary a lot by length, and varchar is also an alternative, but we recommend it to use only if the email address contains extended characters, given that it requires double amount of storage space as compared to varchar. Okay. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Uses varchar 80. Is there a reason not to use a full 254 character maximum? Doesn't varchar by definition use only as much storage as needed to hold the data? Um, I've always used varchar 320. Okay. Here's why the standard dictates the following limitations: 64 characters for the local part, 1 character for the @ symbol, 255 characters for the domain name. Now, some folks will say you need to support more than that. Some folks support Unicode for domain names, and you have to switch to nvar. Char. All the standard may change in the meantime. Okay. Um, you can make your column as wide as you want. You can let people stuff any two-line junk in there that they want. They receive an email if they give you junk that they won't receive. Cert fails. Problems. You let invalid junk in, you have to deal with it. No matter what size you make it, for someone will try to stuff foreign characters into 20 character columns. Someone will try to stuff. And no reason any sensible person should have an email address greater than 320 characters. So they're using it to explicitly test system boundaries. But let's stop asking for opinions on this. Stop looking at other implications for guidance. Just happens in the case that the ones you reference do not bother to do their own homework and just pick numbers out of their, well, direct access to standard. Sure, you consult the most current version support. That is a minimum, stay on top of the standards so you can adapt to changes in specs. As an aside, hall address in a single column in the first place. Normalization might suggest that you don't want to store at Hotmail 50 million times when a much skinnier foreign key int would work just fine and not have the additional overhead of variable length columns. Okay. Um, Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Here's what WordPress uses for its tables if that interests you. Sure. I can always bring that up. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. That's updated in version 4.4. Okay. Um, I thought there was more versions than that. Whatever. If this has changed since then it'll change. But um, we'll deal with it a little bit later. Just kind of looking through it, scanning through it, seeing if there's anything here that um, I might need, but um, obviously it looks like a lot of these are um, something that's been kind of built together, or this is showing the what you have in terms of um, the um, the types of tables that you have already, but obviously I need to kind of add on to this kind of database. Okay, um, I'm going to need to have my own kind of tables to store the givers and the receivers and all the information contained within. Um, So while this might be showing information concerning, the um, like the blog posts and so on and so forth, um, we're going to need to do something a little bit more. We're going to need to kind of expand on this, or expand, well, not really expand on it, but just kind of set the, um, uh, have their own separate tables, because these particular um, pages are not going to be needing anything from the blog posts. Okay, blog posts is more for the business. So the givers and the receivers are going to be um, their own separate tables that will be referenced, and there's not going to be any kind of connections between either one of those tables. The giver won't have any kind of well, there might be some references, like maybe um, I gotta be careful with that. I don't necessarily want to give um, like connections from the givers to the receivers. Um, so the users here aren't going to be WordPress users. No, they're not going to be WordPress users. Um, the um, the 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 point of the site is to be a philanthropy kind of site. It will allow for anyone to create a username and password. Oh, here, let me kind of explain it again. So, um, the purpose of the site is philanthropy. I have a hard time with the pronunciation. Philanthropy, meaning that the idea behind it is I'm going to allow for anyone that needs help, aka the receiver, to fill in information that they need help with, meaning that they will link like GoFundMe pages or whatnot in their particular profile, and then the givers in this particular case are individuals that will sign up using a subscription base to try to protect the receivers in some fashion or another, basically putting putting in a paywall so that um, unscrupulous people won't have easy access to the people that need help. Um, and we'll have them get we'll store like standard information um, there, um, and then the givers will have search features that will see or that will be able to search through all the receivers in the database to see if there's something that they can help out with. That's the idea behind the site. So um, set user emails varchar 100. Hmm. I'm kind of liking the idea for um, yes. Um, kind of liking um, their idea of setting up um, having the domain in its own column. Just have like a foreign key to that. Um, But the only problem with that would be is if there's a different foreign key than um, uh, well, I mean, if there's a new foreign key, then, or if there's a new um, domain, then we can just kind of create the new foreign key value to it and like so. But I do kind of like that idea of it. Um, so, so I might need to create another table if I like the domain idea on that. Um, so let me just kind of put it here for the time being. I don't want to create a new um, email domains. Oh wait. Okay, so um, let's see. Um, Main ID. Then we have domain name. And that would be a varchar 255. Um, so let's see. You're using a lot of underscores, and that's true. The underscores are something that is used fairly often. I just don't like typing out the underscores. It's a little bit more of a reach for me, but whatever. Small little hassle. You just gotta get used to that. Alright. Um, so user email domain. That would be a foreign key. Um, I know that I have to kind of set up all the um, set up everything here for the most part. Actually, let's see. I think I have to do the int first and then the foreign key afterwards, I believe. I think. I don't know. Again, it's been a while since I've messed around with databases, so um, so okay. Let's see. Um, I mean, I don't suspect that anyone's last name is going to be 255 characters, but we might as well set it there anyway, just for the hell of it. Just in case. Um, you never know. I mean, someone could have, a name that just you know, last name after last name after last name after last name. I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, if they want to put out their, if they want to input their full last name, I mean, um, okay, um, let's see. In varchar. Let's see. Hmm, is nvarchar available in all forms of SQL? Like MySQL or Oracle SQL? Let's see. Um, is available on all SQL? Hmm, probably. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I want to be able to do Unicode. So, because there might be, um, I believe MySQL will understand it, but just see it as a varchar. Okay. And that might be a little problematic, seeing if this particular site for some odd reason does blow up and goes around the world, then I want to be able to have, you know, I'm gonna need to have them be able to recognize Unicode. Um, you know, for anyone that you know is Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. So, hmm, let's see. Let's see. Does MySQL use varchar? What you need to do is to ensure that the column that you want to make is type in varchar has character set to any unique character set. Um, oh, okay. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see that. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, um, so MySQL won't really see in varchar that as maybe a keyword, but um, you can set it up so that um, the when you're creating it, you can have you're setting them to the specific um, Unicode. Now this guy is using character set, and this person is using char set. Is there a difference between the two? Hmm. Hold on a second. I need to reset my music here. There we go. What's the difference between char set and character set? Is there a difference? Let's find out. Character set versus char set. Um, char set can be used as a synonym for character set. Okay. So you can use either one, pretty much, for MySQL. Okay, um, so you'd want to you can keep with the varchars, which is fine because that's um, or at least maybe some languages don't really work with um, some some databases might not work very well with nvars maybe, but we do want char set, and then we want the UTF-8. UTF-8. So, and pretty much going to be copying that and pasting it over and over and over again. Do I need char set for that one though? For a phone number? I mean, it's a number, but at the same time, hmm, numbers are fairly universal now, but at the same time, they might change the character per se. So like example Japanese phone number. All right, so we don't really have um, any like kanji or anything along those lines kind of popping up within their phone numbers that could potentially be a problem. Um, yeah, okay. Just wanted to kind of make sure that I'm um, not kind of screwing myself over with that. In that case, I don't necessarily need char set to be that. So there's really no need there. Um, okay. I would imagine address, city, state, um, zip is going to be numeric, but I mean that's more US based anyway. Doubt there's anything um, equivalent of like a zip code in other countries. At least I could be wrong. I mean, I probably am, but um, um, zip code. I saw that. Um, okay. Return is postcode. Okay. Um, as postcodes based on system and format. There's no such thing as zip codes here. Most countries have postcodes or postal codes. And for all countries, um, okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so as we can see, this guy's putting an example of a postcode that is definitely not just a number like here in the States. So, um, obviously, state is not a requirement. Um, let's see, I should probably have something for nationality as well for the giver. So user nation. Okay. Um, let's see. Hmm. I mean, city works, but he's mentioning town and city. Um, but is there going to be any equivalent of state outside of the United States? Okay. State equivalent outside US. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So there are other countries that have technically states to them. So it still works. Um, obviously it doesn't apply to all countries around in the entire world for obvious reasons. Um, but okay. Now, don't know if there's really going to be any way for me to, say, hey, you just selected this particular nationality. Here's all the drop downs of all the states. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Um, especially if the states change, like what the potential for here in the United States is going to happen, potentially. Um, it might not always be the 50 states of the United States here, folks. I mean, you know, um, what was it? About 60 years or so ago. It was like Hawaii and Alaska. Right, when was it again? When did Hawaii become a state? When did yeah, 1959. So give or take that's 60 years or so. um, let's see. I think Alaska was prior to that. No, relatively the same time frame. Okay. Hawaii was slightly afterwards. So okay. Um, but I mean, if it can happen in one person's lifetime, it can happen in ours. So, um, okay. So let's see. Interesting thought line about that. The fact that, you know, um, obviously, not, I didn't see it personally. I didn't see Hawaii or Alaska become a state, but to think that, your parents or your grandparents might have seen it, seen the flag change from basically 48 states into 50, you know. So, okay. Let's see. Zip and postal code are going to be something a little bit different. Um, so, not sure what the best value for that would be. Um, hmm, I'm taking up a lot of space with this right at this moment in time, and I should probably try to figure out ways of reducing it down some, just so I don't like overload my database with just a single, and just a couple of individuals. Not to say that, you know, um, not to say that, a couple will just completely obliterate the database that I have. Um, but still, I still want to try to keep a certain amount of, um, well, that depends on how the database responds. Does it hold on and does it keep space at varchar of 255 for every entry, or does it reduce down the space based off of what gets actually put in? Um, and I'm not quite sure. Um, let's see. Um, does MySQL um, reduce memory usage? Um, let's see. I'm playing with a bunch of settings. What reduced memory usage for me was to convert all my tables to as don't need the feature for any tables. For tables like this. This change I found that memory usage increased by 20% for reduction in memory usage for all of your tables. Uh, hmm. I would advise against, based on the number of unclean shutdowns I've seen that cause data corruption, zero reliability, and data integrity, hardware failures, unclean shutdowns, and operations can cause the data to become corrupt. Um, um, interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna for rest of the systems. Can I do something to reduce the memory consumed by MySQL server? Appreciate the help. Um, let's see. Hmm. More efficient. Okay. Okay. This might be helpful in the later run. Um, let's see. I might want to hold on to this one for now. Let's see. MySQL memory reduction. Hold on to that one for later. But I don't think that really answers my question per se. Let's see. Storage. Um, let's see. Let's see, what's this all about? Save your MySQL database from running out of disk space. Beyond the point of your table size more than 45% of your disk space, you can de-optimize table name, more as it requires another 45% of disk. And allow almost any downtime with the database. All the time, you should always have a backup of your production database just to be safe. Cache application. 30 seconds per custom. Okay, this looks like it's something that that I don't necessarily need to implement upon table creation. So it's just commands that I can put in afterwards. Optimizing data size. Design your tables to minimize their space on the disk. This can result in huge improvements by reducing the amount of data written to and read from disk. Smaller tables normally require less main memory while their contents are being actively processed during query execution. A space reduction for table data also results in smaller indices that are processed faster. Sorts many different storage engines and row formats for each table. You can decide which storage and index method you use. Choosing the proper table format for your application can give you a big performance gain. Let's see. Use the most efficient, smallest data types possible, and as many specialized types as save disk space and memory. For example, use the smaller integer types if possible to get smaller tables. Medium int is a better choice than int because medium int column uses 25% less space. Clear columns to be not null if possible. Make SQL operations faster by enabling better use of indices and eliminating overhead for testing whether each value is null. Also saves storage space 1 bit per column. If you really need null values in your tables, use them. Just avoid the default setting that allows null values in every column. Okay. What is medium int? that's all well and good. Um, but the problem is that the amount of users, well, I mean, can you update the column from like medium int to int afterwards? Especially if it's like for a key. You know, if I'm using an int for a key, then can you actually switch that later? Let's see, let me verify that. Um, let's see, MySQL switching int to big int key. Let's see. Um, the int increment limit, and we need to alter them to big int, otherwise writes will start failing. Um, and you can change the column as desired. Once this process is done, you can rename the tables, then drop the original table. You should have this spec result. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, so it's looking like that is a possibility. Um, now, in the database, you know, I'm not expecting to have, um, 4 trillion um, on that, but there's, you know, this especially for, um, especially for givers. I don't expect to have like 4 million givers, or the for 4 trillion or 4 billion. No, that's trillion. No, that's ah, sorry. No, that is indeed billion. What am I thinking? Um, so if this does break around the world, um, I mean, if, well, it would be really odd to have, um, 4 billion uh, givers when there's 7 billion out there. um, let's see. It went from 6 billion around 2000 to it's getting close to 8 billion in the next couple of years or so. Um, so basically every 20 years or so you get about um, 20 billion. So hey there, Tornado, how you doing there, bud? Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Let's see, actually, I want to verify. Yeah, it looks like my subject lines are kind of working properly now. So, um, just interesting because I don't remember getting an update for Streamlabs. Hmm, I don't know. Um, let's see what else. Um, now expecting to get 16 million givers might be even a stretch on that one. Um, but you never know. Um, all right, man. You have yourself a good night. Sleep well. I'll catch you next time, okay? Thanks for stopping on by there, Tornado. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Um, but here's the thing. Um, what I can do is I can put the 16 million for the givers. Um, and if for some reason the giver amount explodes, um, you know, meaning that there's suddenly like a billion people out there in the world that wants to, help out others, then we can always try to, um, so then probably by that point in time, I'll be needing some help on maintaining this, and therefore would, um, probably would have hired a, someone to maintain the database. And probably by that point in time, we'll probably have needed, a larger size anyway along those lines. Um, so, um, just to try to hold on to the size of all the information being stored and the like. Um, so we could probably just go ahead and use medium int. So, could probably use medium int for domains as well. Let's see. Um, Number of domains. Let's see. 370 million. Okay. Um, hmm. I mean, not all of them are going to have email addresses to them, but at the same time, 370 million is not exactly um, not exactly ideal there. With email. Hmm, okay. Yeah. I might want to just kind of keep with int on this one. Um, Now let's see. Now that we have a basic look and feel for the givers for the most part, we're gonna need to kind of clean this up a little bit more. Um, because when you're creating a table, um, you're um, the whole look and feel of the table creation is going to be um, slightly different, obviously. Um, I don't really have any kind of good examples here, do they? Doesn't look like it. All right. Um, so you're creating a table there, but um, you'll want to be able to um, have like additional information concerning like, foreign keys and the like. Um, See, I don't think that there's anything in terms of storage that I really need to do anymore um, for the giver. Um, hmm. Let's see. Um, what I can do is I could probably create another table for subscriptions. Um, so that the if the prices change at all, then that can be modified fairly easily through the database. Um, see. Hmm. Let's see, create table subscription amounts. Okay. Let's see, we'll do. We don't really need any, uh, or we can do a tidy int on the amount. So, um, I don't need to have people pay like cents on that either. So that's don't really need to worry too much about that. Um, so let's see. So let's see. One time price, tiny int, um, monthly price, tiny int, price, tiny int, and then yeah, price, tiny int. Let's see. Can I set the values to them right now? Probably, but we'll hold off on that. Um, let's see. Hold on. Switch. I gotta check out my music here real quick. 1 second. There we go. Everything is good. Then again, maybe not. I think it's kind of repeating the song that I did from last time. Okay, well, let's go ahead and switch on over to something else here. There we go. Okay, that should do. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I'm thinking about right now is that I should probably set up a value for um, how much time um, what the time limit of the the how long each of the amount of time it takes for each of these. So Time limit. Don't know what that will require. Okay. Okay, let's see. Monthly order and annual. So, I'm doing it this way here because, um, you know, the one-time use may change in the future. You know, you never know. Um, so, like I might be doing like a single day for one-time use, but I may change it later to be like 3 days or something along those lines. Okay. Um, you know, not quite sure how I can handle the monthly though. You know, how am I supposed to tell a due date to to move ahead like 2 months or something like that? Let's see. Um, okay, so the fact that this is possible is good, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. Um, and let's see. Set due date is equal. Um, start date and time span. This calculator needs to take into account business hours and weekends and holidays. Or input a start date and end date. I've been struggling finding anything similar to above input values. And the problem is that we're to calculate due date without using the loop. Um, um, hmm, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. see. Let's see. To count organ days, you can use this answer. Uh, hmm. Date add. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Uh, hmm. Let's see. Um, SQL set date by adding date add. Let's see. Let's see. Interval, number, and date. Okay. Okay, so I could pretty much use um if I had um if I had the um if I had the um if I had, a certain amount of time, then I can just kind of add it to the date on which they um um date on which they subscribed, and you can basically get a due date of when that subscription needs to be renewed. So um, user subscription date. Um, let's see. Um, User description. Um, let's see. What's a good word for this? Um, Amount? I don't know about that. Um, Subscription type. There we go. Let's see. Now, I don't know. Um, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do the processing of like payments right at this moment in time. I'm sure that um, I'm sure that there was methods I was kind of looking up beforehand to try to find payment methods for the givers, but um, I don't know if I really need to like save that information. Don't think I do. Um, I just need to save their date on which they subscribed and which one that they want to, because otherwise, and I'll um, set up the like the warning system that hey, you know, you're gonna need to um, resubscribe. At least I believe if it's something that I'm gonna need to do or not. Um, I might not need to be honest. It might a lot of that might be taken care of for me. Hard to say. Um, let's see. Um, let's see. User recurring payments. I don't know if I need that, but um, so um, if they like check mark that they want to have payments deducted from their account every month or something like that for the monthly subscription, for example, then I may need that value. Um, let's see. See, there's a lot there's a lot for me to kind of process on this, and um, obviously there's quite a bit um, that I'm gonna have to do in order to get this site up and running. Um, but we'll see what we can do on it. As it is anyway, I don't even know if my information that I'm putting on here um, is gonna be kind of useful for um, when I actually do create these tables on the website itself. Um, so um, think I'm gonna need the subscription type to be foreign key as well. Oh, ah, there it goes. Okay, I was about to say Oracle was giving me a little bit of difficulty there. Um, the subscription type is meant to kind of point down to here to say, hey, it's going to be um, the one-time price, the monthly price, quarterly price, or annual price, for example. So, um, let's see. What else? What else should I think about? What is gonna be needed for this? Um, hmm. Oh, I gotta follow. Yeah, Trev. Thank you for the follow there, bud. Appreciate it. Um, just so you're aware, these this particular project is gonna be done every Monday. So if you wanna keep on following me as I continue working on this, um, I'll be doing it again next Monday. So, um, I won't be doing too much on the side. I may need to do some things, um, offline, um, at least until I can get my second monitor again. Um, but, um, I'm probably gonna be needing to, I'll be continuing working on the database and the website again next week. So, um, just so you're aware. Ah, there's a reason why when I first brought this website up, or when I first started kind of working on the website, I was kind of asking the host company to say, hey, I could use some help on building this, and unfortunately, I got a lot of people saying, "Hey, pay us money," and it's like I don't have anything. Ah, so um, so uh, obviously, there's a lot for me to go through. There's a lot of things for me to kind of set up. But um, I'm not expecting to get this done by tomorrow. So I don't have the resources to get it done by tomorrow. It's going to take some time to get this website to a point where um, I can pretty much open it up for the public. So, um, and that's understandable. Um, Hopefully, those of you that are kind of watching me do this will kind of stick with me as I go through the trials and tribulations of building this website. um, I don't mind um, getting any kind of constructive criticism or suggestions about what I can do to try to improve upon it. But obviously, that comes with time. So, um, you know, while I'm while I tend to see myself well versed in Java and C, that doesn't really help that much when it comes to website design. So, um, So while I might think of myself as someone that can, that is an okay programmer, um, I'm not going to be the best when it comes to database design or website design because I haven't worked on those that much. Um, so we're gonna continue working on this again next week. Um, got about 20 more minutes before I close down anyway. Um, but obviously we're gonna be continuing working on what I'm gonna be looking at for the database for the givers and the receivers. Um, and then we're going to be continuing our building of the WordPress to allow for um, to allow for the logins for the each for both of them, to set up the subscription, um, uh, to set up the search, which means that I'm going to have to make sure that I do queries into the database to get back the information that I'm looking for. Um, I'm going to need to make sure that I set up um, some safeguards on said searches so I don't have hackers, getting information that they really shouldn't be getting. But again, um, there's only so much that I can do along those lines. Um, let's face it. If a hacker is really determined to get into a system, um, you know, they can definitely try. And I'm not going to have all the best uh, security um, and the like to on this. Hence the reason why I'm really going to try to be as guarded as I possibly can for what information can be given to this to my site, and what can be retrieved. Okay, I'm not getting the giver's credit card information. I don't need it. I don't want it. Um, that I'm giving that kind of responsibility to um, to another application that's supposed to be designed around that kind of security. Now, I'm still going to need to put in a good amount of security in there anyway to make sure that you know I'm not handing out email addresses um, to just anyone. Okay. Um, so um, I mean I know the dangers. So or I know I say I know the dangers, but um, you know I know how scary the web can be if you're not careful with it. So um, just people just getting your information and using it for their own purposes. That happens almost constantly. Um, so especially nowadays with all the scammers that are out there. Um, so I need to make sure that I try to protect this website as much as I can. Um, Now there may come a day where you know, if if I'm if I'm getting a certain amount of money from this website to a point where I can actually afford, hiring a DBA and someone in charge of handling security, you know, um, then that would be great. Um, then I'll be able to kind of go about doing that. But uh, that's gonna be further down the line than um, what I can currently do right now, obviously. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, I mean, the idea for this is to be, um, you know, to get to a point where, um, it will still be a not-for-profit business. Um, so all the money that we get will be going to others. Um, you know, so hiring additional workers and the like is going to be something that I do want to eventually do for this kind of venture. So um, it's meant to be um, a charity in some regards. So I gotta be careful with my words here because I don't want people thinking that it's something that it isn't. Um, it's supposed to be an organization that is meant to kind of help out others, and any money that I get will either be going to the people that need it or um, for maintenance of the company. Okay, so if at some point in time it gets to a point where I'm going to need help maintaining it, so the money that I'm collecting on it will go towards payment of an actual database administrator and you know, um, website designer, um, and so on and so forth. If it gets to that point, then um, then we'll see what happens. But um, so that's the intention. We'll see whether or not it actually works out the way I want it to work out. Um, but obviously, there's a lot for me to do to get to that point. So um, I'm I'm gonna be really trying to mind my P's and Q's when it comes to this. I don't want to. Um, I want to make sure that I'm not potentially screwing myself over. So, um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on this. So, um, okay, there, folks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close on down for tonight. Um, Normally I go till 6, but um, uh, I want to try to look into like logging in on my uh, I need to kind of take care of some behind the scenes for the site, make sure that I'm still able to kind of take care of all that. Again, don't bother like looking into all these kind of sites and like because I don't have them set up. It's it's technically it's public, but um, uh, there's nothing connecting any of these, so don't bother. um, you know, I just kind of put this up because I was getting tired of people messaging me and saying, "Hey, you pay us, we'll build it for you." It's like I can't pay anyone. Stop asking me to build my website for pay. I can't do it. So, um, so there's a lot to kind of work on, and we're gonna continue trying to do that every week on Monday, as part of my Finish What I Started series. Um, I just finished the Twitch team, so um, now that we've finished off that one, we don't need to worry about it anymore. We can move on to our next project, which is getting this up and running into something that uh, I don't, I can just kind of let it go and, you know, obviously there's going to be some amount of like maintenance and like for it. Um, but, I'd like to get it to a point where I can, um, you know, it will allow for the givers and the receivers to be kind of helping themselves out while I kind of try to make sure that everything is kind of running relatively smoothly. And that's all I necessarily need to do for the website. At least that's the intention. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, um, in terms of the Twitch team, for those of you that might not be aware, that aren't aware, I built up a streaming team um, because, as I mentioned in previous videos, the the teams that I've been on weren't all that helpful. Um, the first one was very limiting. Um, it was meant to, build our channels kind of thing. And well, I don't think I got hosted once on that team at all. But again, it was a team of like 400 people or something like that. So I mean, yeah. Um, plus the um, the owner of said team was just kind of viewing different channels at random, um, and that was about it and what he was doing. And yeah, I found it very limiting on that. I was hosting um, multiple channels, but I wasn't getting kind of any of the auto hosts back either. I think I maybe got it like auto hosted once. Um, but um, um, the second team that I was on, uh, you know, the leader initially was saying that she wanted to pay it forward, which is something that I can agree with. I appreciate. Um, so I joined that team, but come to find out, she was more interested in the team that supported her, and that was it. So not a pay it forward. It was more of a pay it forward to her. Um, so uh, and that soured my taste for that particular team. She shut it down because it was too much work for her. Right. Um, so yeah. So I created this streaming team to be more the pay it forward, to help out others, to help out other streamers. Um, so the application is down below on my Twitch channel, so feel free to check that out if you like. Um, Feel free to apply if you're a streamer and you want to, help out everybody else on the team, or you don't have to be a streamer. Um, if you want to help out expanding, viewership for a streamer in some fashion or another, you can apply for the team as well. There's positions available that can that you can assist with, you know, uh, um, helping streamers expand upon their viewer base. Okay, that's available as well. Okay, either either one is perfectly fine. Um, just fill out the information on the application. Go ahead and submit it. I'll review this said application, and if everything looks okay, then if you agree to the Google Doc that is listed in the form, if you're if that is something that you can agree with, then um, then you'll be a good fit with the team, and hopefully we can all work together to kind of expand on all of our team members' viewership and build it into something that we can all be proud of. So, um, but that was my last project. But that's done for now. There's not really that much else for me to really kind of work on that end. Uh, there's still some bits and pieces that I could probably work on a little bit, but for the most part, it's all done. Um, so uh, that's why we're moving on to Hoden Sote here. Um, so that's where we're gonna go ahead and close it down for now. So all these videos, all these streams are eventually uploaded to my YouTube channel. So feel free to check that out if you like. Got a link down below for that. I also have links to my Discord, my Patreon, and my Twitter account down below on my Twitch About page, as well as in the description of my YouTube videos. So feel free to check those out if you like. I have a schedule of everything that I do on this channel down below on my Twitch About page. Um, all the streams that I do daily, what I stream, as well as the times on which I do stream. So, um, if you're just interested in World of Warship gameplay, stop by on Monday. If you're interested in Warframe gameplay, that's on Saturdays, and so on and so forth. It's all down below. Um, so feel free to check that out if you like. Um, let's see, anything else that I should mention? No, I don't think so. So that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for now. Like I said, I'll be continuing again in this again next week. So if you're interested in continuing watching me as I finish what I started on Hoden Sote, then stop on by. Um, I stream daily now from 2 to 6 p.m. PST. So that's where we're going to go and call it for now. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Tornado, Trev, thank you for stopping on by. Appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see both of you again next time. But that's where we're going to go ahead and end it. So take care, stay healthy, stay safe. I'll catch you strangers next time.